took a little longer than we thought, but the second half of UND hockey's season is now underway, and we are excited to talk about it on this week's edition of North Dakota Hockey Central. I'm Alex Heinert. Great to have you with us for the latest look inside the nation's top college hockey program. Coming up, we'll chat with head coach Brad Berry on his team's return to action and profile UND's latest World Juniors champions. But first, here's the latest episode of the award-winning web series, Through These Doors.
Through These Doors is presented by Gate City Bank.
As far as Shane goes for watching football, he's got nothing to cheer for as well. He's a Jets fan.
They can't even lose right.
Whenever you think of the Jets, you think of the butt fumble. You don't think of any kind of victory or championship. There's nothing there.
Bad uniforms, just ugly, bad fan base.
Frank Gore, the guy's a fossil.
Why would you ever be a Jets fan? Like, I don't know why you wouldn't be a Giants fan. Like, makes no sense, huh? Like, the Jets are
At least he can.
terrible.
At least he's not picking a team across the country, though.
Yeah.
Like Gooch.
Give him credit for sticking to his team, but
Yeah.
But Shane thinks Sam Darnold is, like, all that, but
I'm in
they
on
need
him.
to get rid of him.
I'm in on him.
I don't know.
I think he's their guy.
One would be hard-pressed to find something that gets the guys going more than football debates.
You know, there's battles between fans, and obviously us being Vikings fans, it's fun to get together, and we like to rile up all the other guys, and so yeah, it's just kind of fun to watch with the guys.
I grew up watching the Vikings a lot, especially the Vikings-Packers was always big growing up. We'd get, family together and friends over to watch those games. Never been to a game. I would love to go back and go to a game in the Metrodome. I think that would have been really cool.
We come from different parts of the country, even different parts of North America. So everyone brings their hometown pride, and it makes for fun Sundays when the NFL teams are playing.
Some fans can be more annoying than others, although opinions vary.
All the Vikings fans, they're just losers. The Vikings lose all the time. Cowboys beat the Vikings this year, so I got my bragging rights within the house, and the Vikings will just never be good.
our roommate Gabe hates the Vikings, so it's always pretty hostile in that environment. But it's all in good fun, and it's just something we really like to do.
Matt, Peter, Grant, they're just sick of losing, so I understand it. It's tough for them every Sunday, just being disappointed. So you know what, I think I would just have to say those three are by far the worst fans to deal with.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
He doesn't know anything. He's a fake Cowboys fan. he doesn't know anything.
How about the Cowboys?
He doesn't know the rules. He's usually the CFL or punching balls to the end zone.
Three downs every drive. It's just
running starts. He doesn't know football, and he likes to make fun of us because we have a good team.
All the Americans have a problem with the Canadians having a football team down here. They all think that we should just cheer for the closest team to us, but no, when I was younger, my dad's not a big football guy. I mean, we have the Rough Riders, and we're all diehard fans for that, but he doesn't watch much NFL. So my uncle used to be big in NFL. He would always do a lot of drafts and stuff like that, so he was always watching games on Sundays. So whenever I was at my grandma's with him, he was a Packers fan, so I kind of started watching with him.
During a time of such uncertainty, however, friendly bickering provides a habitual custom.
It's kind of just one of those things we needed to do to kind of take our mind off of hockey and relax a bit. We were so wound up from playing either every other day or back to back that we just needed to decompress sometimes, and football is just one of those things that the guys they all know, and it's just something we're able to say support and kind of laugh about and get under each other's skin with.
I mean, there's so many of them, and they think that they're so cool just because there's so many of them, but you look around, none of them are wearing their jerseys today, only Matt. I think that shows how much of real fans they are. But yeah, you know what, I'll always go head-to-head with them. I won't back down from getting into it with them.
Guy's ridiculous. They have one good season. He wears his brown jerseys around. They're gonna lose. They're gonna get clapped like Chase Claypool said. They're not gonna last long. They won one playoff game, but it's not gonna be a normal thing every year.
In his defense, though, I mean, it's gotta be tough to be a Browns fan. I mean, obviously I don't cheer for him, but you almost got to feel for him a little bit when he go 0-16 a few years ago. So.
A lot of people are counting them out. I mean, a lot of people wrote them off against the Steelers, and look what happened. So, I'm sticking with the Browns. I'm taking them to the end.
Can I get a celebratory chant or cry or yell as the Browns?
Great work from Tyler Hastad, Chad O'Shea, Cassie Niles, and UND's entire Through These Doors team. Coming up next year on North Dakota Hockey Central, Brad Berry joins the show to break down his team's strong start to the second half right after these messages. Welcome back to North Dakota Hockey Central. Let's go now to Ralph Engelstad Arena, where UND head coach Brad Berry is standing by. Brad, congrats on finally getting the second half of the season started this past week. After 21 days without a game, how good did it feel to see your team back in a competitive setting again?
Yeah, it was great to see. We kind of cross our fingers from week to week here to see if we can play. I know a lot has to do with us, but also the opponent that we play, and hopefully you have a safe and healthy week to get you through to play that weekend. So I got to thank the league, Josh Fenton and the league. Got to thank Bill Chaves and Eric Martinson from the athletic department on trying to get two healthy teams to play together, because I know our opponents weren't in that mode, and to get out to Colorado Springs was a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. The second half opener against Colorado College came together midweek after your scheduled series against Omaha was postponed following positive COVID tests within that program. Talk us through the team's reaction when they found out the schedule had changed and that they were going to play this weekend, albeit in Colorado, after such a long layoff.
Yeah, well, our guys were very excited about hearing the news that, even though there was a schedule change, that we were playing games. And, I think everybody is a little apprehensive these days as far as, if we're going to play and when we're going to play. But I think, like we talked about, I believe last week, about communication as being the key. As long as they're up to speed on knowing what's going on from day to day and week to week, I think that's a big deal. And, just hearing us going to Colorado Springs and playing two games was a big deal, even though it was a Sunday, Monday. So again, we're going to reset again, and just getting word that we're going to go back to Denver here. Everything is good with them as far as being able to play, and doing another Sunday, Monday tilt.
Yeah, it's unique. The Sunday, Monday series, a little bit unusual, but then again, so is everything else about this season. How much did the date change make you adjust your preparation?
Not too much. We still go through our week here knowing that, how many days out from a game and what we want to work on structurally and teaching-wise and execution-wise. Nothing really deviated except for just maybe pushing it back a day or two. But again, I think, once we get close to game time, I think there's a focus and a mentality that, it's a game weekend, whatever that is, whether it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or a Sunday, Monday.
This was your first series outside the pod. How did this fanless environment differ from what you experienced in Omaha?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. We mentioned that, down in the pod, when you had 8 teams there was a hustle and bustle of, a lot of people being around the rink, even though there wasn't fans. So it was always busy in the rink, with teams coming in and out, practices, games, different things like that. But now just going into a rink, a big rink and no fans, it was a little different atmosphere. And, I think once the game hits and the puck drops, there's a focus and there's a mindset where you kind of block out everything and and it's going to have to be that way for the rest of the year here, especially on the road. I know at home here we're probably going to be fortunate enough to have some fans in the building, but it's one of those things where it's incumbent upon the player or the group that's on the ice to make sure that there's a focus.
Yeah, to the game itself, you picked up a 3-0 win over CC in Game 1, but despite that scoreline, you and the team weren't satisfied with the performance. What did you see in Game 1 that led to that assessment?
Well, I just think our sharpness and our execution was lacking a little bit as far as how we normally did things once we were in the pod. And I think we got to remind ourselves, too, that we were off for 3 weeks. Not that that's an excuse, but, when we started the pod, we weren't the sharpest either, and we picked up momentum as we went. And I think we got to be conscious of that we have to make sure that we're get ourselves ready here individually and collectively as a team to try to replicate or try to imitate anything that we can from a structure standpoint in the game. And I thought we got better as the game went on, our first game, and then leading into the second game, I thought we were a whole lot better, even though that it was a 1-goal win.
Yeah, it showed. You followed it up with a 2-1 win in game number 2. A big reason for that was Adam Shield, who didn't allow an even strength goal in the series and stopped 50 of 51 shots. There was not much rust in his game after the 3-week break.
Yeah, you know what? He's taken it up a notch or two here, and it's great to see. We've got a pretty good team in front of him, but he's led the way himself as far as being a leader in the locker room, as far as his preparation is concerning. He's really dialed in as far as coming to the rink and having a focus and being sharp in the practices, and that leads into the game. So again, like I said, I think it's part of his maturity process here at North Dakota and getting to a situation where he feels comfortable on his habits and details.
Shield and those in front of him helped earn UND's 5th road sweep all-time in Broadmoor World Arena. You didn't trail at all in the series, and you haven't been behind once during your current 6-game win streak. How important has getting that first goal and playing with the lead been for your team?
It's huge. All analytics direct back to scoring that first goal and who has the best chance of winning after scoring that first goal, and it doesn't lie. The analytics on that side don't lie. So it's a big part. We want to have that attack mentality of trying to go get that first one and hopefully the second one after that and go from there. It's tough playing catch-up hockey, especially in the NCHC. If you go down a goal or two, teams are too good now, especially in the second half with their structure becoming more solid, that it's tougher to come back if you get down in a game. So having that goal lead to start off a game is a huge thing, and it gives you momentum through the rest of the game.
You return from the Rockies with 6 points in the bag and are back within a point of first place St. Cloud State with the game in hand on the Huskies. Knowing you had a 7-point gap to make up in the Penrose Cup race entering this weekend, how important were these 2 wins in the context of your season?
Well, they're huge. It's one of those things. It seems like St. Cloud's got a little momentum. They went into Duluth and got a majority of the points there. And again, it's one of those things that we always have our eye on the Penrose. We have, as scheduled now, we have a 24-game conference schedule, each team does, and we want to win that Penrose again. But I think one of the things is if teams don't play the full 24 games, then it's going to go into a situation, then whoever wins the Penrose they're going to go to a system where it's points per game, the average points per game. So again, making sure that we try to get 3 out of there is a major focus each and every weekend.
Next up, you're scheduled to go back to Colorado to take on a Denver team coming off a COVID-enforced bye week. You and the Pioneers played out a pair of classics in the NCHC pod. What about this matchup always seems to produce great hockey games?
Well, it's turned into an instant rivalry, Alex, here. Going back to the WCHA days, it was the Minnesota, North Dakota, Wisconsin series. That was always kind of the rivals and a storied tradition and history of going back and forth. And I think right now, I think Denver is probably one of them. You could say Duluth in that mix too, but when you play Denver, there's a competitive feeling. I think it's both ways too, that you get the best from both teams, and it's great to see for college hockey, and I know our guys will be ready for that this weekend in Denver.
Yeah, for sure. We're all excited to see this rivalry resume this Sunday and then again in early February in Grand Forks. Brad, thanks as always for the time, and best of luck this weekend against the Pioneers.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Alex.
Of course, Brad is a former IIHF World Juniors champion, and as of last week, he's coaching 3 defensemen with a WJC gold medal to their name as well. We'll detail the World Juniors experience of Jake Sanderson and Tyler Kleven when North Dakota Hockey Central returns. Welcome back. Every holiday season, the best U20 players on the globe gather for the IIHF World Junior Championships, a competition that typically has a North Dakota feel to it. This year was no different. For more on their experience playing on Team USA at the WJC, here's Jake Sanderson and Tyler Kleven.
The World Junior Championships are a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Playing for your country and playing with guys all over your country and playing other countries across the world, I think it's pretty special as an individual and as a team.
The World Junior Championships are super exciting, I'd say. Getting the chance to represent your country is it's a big deal to me. Every Christmas I'd sit down with my family and watch around the Christmas tree.
Usually during Christmas time, that's when it's going on. I'd usually be in Whitefish, Montana with my family, skiing and stuff, and we'd watch every single game.
Tyler Kleven now. Look at that!
The night before the Western Michigan game, about 9:30, I get a call from Coach Barry and told me that I made the team. And after that, I had to either make a decision on whether I go or I stay in the bubble. And I knew that I was going to be able to play a lot at North Dakota. And going into the tournament, I knew that I might not get the most playing time, but ultimately I just knew that I'm not going to be able to represent my country that many more times, and that's just an opportunity I just can't pass up.
I was super happy. Klev tagged along with us, and obviously I'm super happy he came, and me and him have been traveling across the world together.
Merry Christmas from Edmonton. It's the third game of day one of the World Junior Hockey Championship, and it is a dandy. The United States takes on Russia.
Great day for hockey. Merry Christmas, boys. Have a good one.
It was kind of weird playing a game on Christmas because that's kind of the first time I've done that, but it was a pretty special day and a special game, and I think it kind of, even though we lost, I think it kind of started everything for our team. Just kind of facing adversity in the tournament at the start was, I think, really good for us, and I think we learned a lot from that game, and obviously it paid off at the end.
Russia is one of our biggest opponents, and obviously losing that game opened our eyes up and led us in the right direction. Just locked down D the rest of the tournament, and then obviously our forwards produced quite a bit with Zegras leading the tournament.
Coach Lehman said to win this tournament, you got to get better as a team as the tournament goes on, and I felt like we did that. We got better ever and ever since that Russia game.
The long road leads to this, the gold medal game of the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship between Canada and the United States.
I woke up super excited that day. I woke up feeling a little bit different, just knowing it was a gold medal game. There's a lot at stake, but I think just with the rivalry between the U.S. and Canada, and I felt like that was kind of just the perfect gold medal game, having those two teams.
Byram, one hands out to Cousins. He got bashed there by Sanderson. Side of the goal, they score! It's Zegras, and the U.S. leads 2-0.
I was looking at the clock every time I got off the ice, and it was going pretty slow, but I'm super happy we won at the end. We cleared the zone and stuff, and I was looking at the clock, and there was like 10 seconds left, and I just thought to myself, well, I might as well just stay on and go, bear hug Spence and be the first one, and we got a pretty cool picture out of it too, so it was super cool.
The United States wins the World Junior Hockey Championship.
All of our hard work paid off, and we can really show in that moment. All the cameras captured all the smiles on our faces, and we're all so proud of each other.
I was just freaking out. I was yelling. I was losing my voice and all that, and just hugging all the guys one by one, and just freaking out. Like it was crazy that we won it, and it was just a grind, and it was something I'll never forget.
Congrats to Jake and Tyler on becoming the 13th and 14th UND players to capture a gold medal at the World Juniors. By the way, both were born in 2002, so each will be eligible to play again in next year's WJC, which will also be held in Edmonton. Stay tuned. We'll wrap up this week's show with a look around college hockey and preview the weekend ahead in the NCHC after this. Let's take a look around the college hockey landscape now, beginning with this week's USCHO.com poll. Once again, 5 NCHC teams are ranked in the top 20, with 4, North Dakota, St. Cloud State, Minnesota Duluth, and Omaha, all in the top 10. It's the Mavericks' highest ranking, by the way, since January of 2016. Inside the NCHC, the Huskies are still top after a 5-point weekend at Amsoil Arena, though North Dakota is first on a points-per-game basis, which, remember, is the formula the league will use to determine the Penrose Cup winner should any team not play out the full 24-game regular season schedule. The way things are going, it is a fair bet that might be the case, as 3 NCHC series have been pushed back this weekend because of COVID-19 protocols. UMD's trip to Miami won't take place now until the end of the month, while both UND Denver and Omaha CC won't start until Sunday or Monday. That 2-day delay will not bother North Dakota, though. The Fighting Hawks did just fine in their last Sunday-Monday tilt, and they're looking forward to a return to the Rockies for another rivalry series this weekend.
No, they're a good team. They got a lot of skill, and they play fast and they're physical. So, just be mentally ready for that game, and have a good week of practice here with the guys, and we'll be ready this weekend.
Denver against North Dakota. Each picked up a 1-goal win against the other in the pod. We'll see what the rematch from Magnus Arena holds this Sunday here on MidcoSN and on Monday on CBS Sports Network. Both games start at 8 p.m. Central. We will recap that series with the Pioneers and more on next week's North Dakota Hockey Central. Until then, on behalf of our MidcoSN crew, I'm Alex Heinert. Thanks for watching.